Going to do another D3 to D1 video here today. We're going to be working on how to kind of gauge 40 and where my problems might be at. So we're going to do a 10-yard dash, 10-10 fly. So I'll get just my 10 to 20 yard time, and I'll do a 20-10 fly. I'll do 20 yards to 30 yards, so I'll know that distance. And then we'll do a 30-10 fly, so I'll know my last 10 yards. And then kind of see like where our weaknesses at, what numbers need to be worked on. So in our accumulation, or like not accumulation phase, but like in our basically weakness phase, you can call it accumulation if you want to go for like what you would see in a book. But basically, I'm going to work on my weaknesses in like the next like phase or two, and then kind of once I get to my like last two phases right before I peak, I'm going to go more into my strengths and just get better at what I'm already good at, because you know your strengths are your strengths for a reason. That's what's going to make you fast. It's going to make a difference. But we got to work our weaknesses up as well. So we're going to work on, see what that is, work those up, and then hammer out our strengths at the end, which is probably going to be acceleration, but we got to work top end speed as well. Because acceleration and max velocity are very separate things, very trained very differently, and I always work them, but you know, your focuses might shift on kind of what you're really trying to fix each time. But without further ado, we'll just get into the video. We'll see each of our times for every 10-yard segment of our 40-yard dash. All right, so ran our 10-yard, 20-yard split, 20, 30-yard split, and final 10-yard split. 105 in final 10 yards, which is our max speed. It's still like 19.5, which just has to go higher, is definitely our weak point. And the higher I raise that up, the higher potential I can raise all my acceleration and things of that nature. 20 to 30 yard split was 109, which is pretty solid. Means my transition phase is decent there. But 10 to 20 yards was 120. That's a little slow. I'd like to be more like 115 range. Maybe even get close to 110. So I think that's like that transition phase. Still kind of early acceleration, but transition to get to top speed. That happens a lot earlier for me because my max speed isn't that high. And then 10-yard dash, I was pretty gassed by that with 163. Usually I run like 1.5 on that. My first 10 yards is good. I just ran that last. I ran them all backwards, so I think I was pretty taxed. I mean, I basically ran 240s to get my 30-10, and then a 30-yard dash to get 20-10. So pretty gassed by that. I think I would have got like 1.5s, probably that normally, which would predict like a 1.8 or a 4.8 something, but 4.9 predictor right there. Which kind of makes sense because our normal 40-yard dash is, or the one like I ran 4.71. We're doing a 5-foot lead in. That's what we do with PN track, and it kind of compares more to what's it called? Handheld times. So 4.9 is probably my like legit laser, like started in laser. If I ran at the combine, I'd probably run 4.9 right now. So gotta get that down. Keep working on max speed, and then that kind of transition to our top speed phase, or transition later acceleration phases, need some work, which will be in our resisted sprints and things of that nature this year. But gonna go ahead, jump into our bench workout for today and go hit some triceps. Let's get into it. So something a little bit different for dynamic bench day today. Chains didn't work, bands didn't work. Because we don't have any bands with the same tension, and if they are, they're like 75 pounds, which would kill me. The chains, we don't have the equipment because people lose stuff, because college gym, that's how it works. Nobody actually puts stuff where it's supposed to be, which is why I like private gyms. But anyways, so we're gonna do pin press, concentrically pushing, so stopping completely at the bottom. And this is kind of like where our weak point's at, where we have the pin set up. So we're pushing right from where we normally fail on our benches. Yeah, should go pretty well. Should feel good. Should help improve our bench. We're gonna go for 5 sets of 3 today. Already taking forever with this workout, but that was kind of just the nature of a sprint and bench day. You can see how much of a struggle it is getting off that out of that spot. It's because we have no like eccentric like bounce back, so I have no elastic energy store. So I'm completely like muscularly pushing through that whole range, and that's where we need to fail. So I need to get better at that. That is my kind of limit in bench right now, is right here. Once that kind of rebound effect stops after the eccentric movement, and I have to concentrically push in these triceps, that's when I'm failing my benches. So keep hammering this out for 4 more sets. Do some kind of row variation, and then hit some triceps when we're out of here. Change on, it's my last set. So last set of the video here. This is kind of my favorite back movement right now. Just in between like a lat pull down in a row. Feel it in my whole back, and I'm not doing a ton of row volume, so it's good to get this in. Going for 6 reps here. Making sure I'm starting with my right arm first, because that's my weak arm. So when you're doing unilateral movements, use your weak arm first. Now I'm just doing 6 on each side. Pretty light, because sprinted a ton today. Did some heavy bench work. Well, not heavy, but intense bench work. So CNS is already stressed, so lighter on the back movement. That's the last set of the video. And now here's our special star guest.
I need to say something about Dawson Piper. He changed my life. Bails me out of jail. Gives me like $5 grand. Pays my rent. You know, he does everything. You know, like he also has a humongous.
That part's getting cut out. That's getting cut out. What was I saying? I just cut that part. But thank you for watching the video. Thank you to John for the shout out. I will see you guys in the next workout. I'll put a video recommended for you right here, and a subscribe button right here. So just go and press that. Subscribe to the Vitas too. I'll see you guys in the next workout.